A chilling attack in Brooklyn is caught on camera. A woman is tossed to the ground and sexually assaulted. Tonight, police are trying to track down the suspect. CBS 2's Karen Dillon reports.
Take a look at this surveillance video. In it, you can see a man following a 35-year-old woman down the street in Brooklyn. He eventually tackles her from behind and knocks her to the ground.
It's sad that you can't walk anywhere and be comfortable enough to walk and not worry that someone's going to attack you.
The assault is terrifying people who work in the area. Police say it happened on Monday evening, shortly after 8 o'clock, near the corner of Morgan Avenue and Stagg Street in East Williamsburg. It's believed the man reached inside the woman's shorts and grabbed her buttocks before running off. The suspect's face is visible for cameras to capture.
He didn't care at all. It just goes to show you how brazen people can be. They don't care.
26-year-old Catherine Dang agrees.
What the heck? Oh my God.
She says the neighborhood is getting so dangerous, she's planning to move.
It's like really close to home. It's just gotten real bad since the pandemic. It's just real dirty, disgusting, loud.
Police say the victim was not physically hurt and refused medical attention. Both Dang and Pecorella say they'll be paying more attention to their surroundings until the suspect is caught.
Turn my music down a little bit more, not have the noise canceling on, be a lot more aware, you think?
Oh, definitely more now, especially when I leave to go home, yeah.
In the meantime, both women say they'd like to see more officers patrolling the area.
Shalom, I'd like to give all undergoing praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. I give double honors to our apostles and elders, great millstone. Salutations to our sincere Akim, pushing us right across the four corners of the world. And as you just saw from this previous video based in Brooklyn, we're showing a woman exercising. She had on her earphones, and she also had on that tight gym clothing. So while she was standing there, a guy that creeped up on her, looked like he could be from one of the Northern Kingdom tribes. He creeped up on her, took her down, and sexually assaulted her. And this was in broad daylight. And that's just to show you how majority of these modern day women are totally careless out here, just being very inattentive, heedless, not being aware of the times that we are in. Because majority of these people do not know that we are in the end times. And for the end times, these things are going to be happening, which we mentioned here in the book of Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity should abound. So iniquity being abounded here in America, known as Babylon the Great. That's why it's stated in the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, for her sins has reached unto heaven, and the Most High had remembered her iniquities. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, he set up Esau, Edom, who are the so-called Caucasian race, beginning with the elites, to rule for a certain point in time. So while the earth is given to their possession for a certain point in time, iniquities are going to rise more and more. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai just letting the world have a free-for-all in wickedness, except for the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel. So, and because iniquity should abound, the love of many should wax cold. So that wax meaning diminishing. That's why it's stated in 2nd Ezra, either the 15th or the 16th chapter, how a man should no longer have pity upon his neighbor. Because when all hell breaks loose in this society, meaning America known as Babylon the Great, when the power grid be shut down, meaning it's not going to be any electricity out here, you're not going to have any access to these modern cars, the dollar is going to collapse. So the food, the water in the grocery stores are going to be very diminished. If not, the shelves are going to be totally empty. So the type of vibration is going to be how it's going to be a survival of the fittest. Every man for himself or for his loved ones. So what these so-called modern, independent, or I can do everything by myself, women are going to do when all hell breaks loose in this society, when they do not have no type of spiritual hedge covering them. Because majority of them are totally careless. And you go into the word careless, it goes into stupid, being inattentive, being heedless, not being watchful. And this happened in broad daylight. So just imagine when you don't have no type of access to 911, which is very nigh. So it stated, and because iniquity should abound, the love of many should wax cold. So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai is pouring out demonic forces upon these people. These are those spirits being created for vengeance. So that's happening right now when law enforcement is still intact, while this society is still so-called being normal. How much more when everything be turned upside down in society, everything just totally chaotic. Nothing but anarchy out here in these streets. And this is the book of Isaiah 32 verse 9. It says, rise up, ye women that are at ease. And you go into the word ease here in the blue letter, when the definition, it goes into arrogance, haughty, and that equals pride. And what did the Most High stated here in the book of Proverbs, the 6th chapter, verse 16? These 6 things do the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination to him. And the word abomination goes into something that's disgusting, an atrocity. It's filthy, it's wicked. Verse 17, a proud look. That's what majority of these modern day women have upon their faces. Especially the so-called women of our nation, the nation of Israel, where a lot of them are on government assistance. So they take very much pride in it. And they really call themselves independent, but they're depending on this so-called government. But not knowing that pact that you made with Esau, Edom being the devil that the Bible speaks about, he's a deceiver. He only did that really to get to us, the Israelite man, to get us out the household, to have the whole household of the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Hispanics in a disorderly conduct, a disorderly manner. The scriptures say about Esau being a cunning serpent. He's very crafty. So this was a part of his systematically designed plans to get the Israelite man out the household and just to have the mother raise the children. And just how the woman, being a weaker vessel, dealing with her emotions, just imagine how the children are going to be raised up with that type of same vibration, even worse. But the point is that majority of these modern day women are totally prideful. And as it says in Proverbs, the 16th chapter, that pride goes before destruction. So with America being that lofty city pursuant to the book of Isaiah, the 26th chapter, it exudes itself with much pride, arrogancy, haughtiness. So how much more the inhabitants? How much more these modern day women here in America? So that's how you know a society is collapsing, dealing with that great pride. So that's why I stated these 6 things that the Lord hate, yea, even 7 are an abomination to him, a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. So the point is right there, a proud look, which a lot of these modern day women are given liberty, and they are dwelling in the pleasures of men building this society. So that's why I stated, rise up, ye women that are at ease. You're totally comfortable here. You think everything's supposed to be given to you on a platter. Because we are living the times of Jeremiah 31 verse 22, how the Most High had made a new thing on the earth, a woman should compare as a man. So these modern women, they took advantage of that. So rise up, ye women that are at ease, hear my voice, ye careless daughters, give ear unto my speech. And how do you give ear unto the Most High's speech? Adhering to his righteous prophets. Let's tell you that these times that we're coming into, don't get all caught up into how things are going so-called normal. Remember that Esau is very strategic. So if he did something like this last year with a worldwide pandemic, we already know how he's very hip to these so-called false flags. Just imagine what he has in store for the next so-called false flag, for the next so-called pandemic, how he's going to conjure it up through the spirit. So that's why I stay here in verse 10. Many days and years shall you be troubled, especially for the women of our nation that's not right with Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. They're thinking that they can be just independent, strong. They don't need no man to lead them. So they're going to be troubled. And that trouble is going to Jacob's trouble, where it's a time that this world has never seen before. That's how much hell, anarchy, chaos, afflictions, calamities is going to be in this place, America. So many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for to vintage shall fail, the gathering shall not come. And your vintage, that goes into that liberty, those goodies, those treats, those gifts that your daddy Esau Edom gave you. And you go into the word gift, one of the definitions for it on Edamon Online is poison. Remember that he's that cunning serpent. So by Esau giving you these liberties, it was actually poison at the end of the day, because it's not good for your well-being. Because Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua is against a strong, independent woman. But that's the concept here in America, where a lot of these women are biting into the philosophy of feminism, women's liberation. So that's why I stated here, for the vintage shall fail. So that pact that you made with Esau Edom, going back to Eve in the garden with the serpent, which was a man of the spirit of Esau Edom. So if Esau being the devil or deceiver, that formal agreement is going to be null and void. So it's going to be canceled out. So he's going to take all those treats, those goodies, those gifts that he gave you. So many days and years shall you be troubled, ye careless women, for the vengeance shall fail, the gathering shall not come. Verse 11, tremble ye women that are at ease. So it's going to be a lot of judgment upon these modern, prideful women. Be troubled, ye careless ones, strip you and make you bare, and gird sackcloth upon your loins. They shall lament for the teats, for the pleasant fields, for the fruitful vine. So these modern day women are going to be bitterly crying when all hell breaks loose in the society. And they show you on movies like Book of Eli. What was that woman doing at that time frame? She was following Eli, the character that Denzel Washington played, because she knew trying to be strong, independent by herself, being out there with a society that's lawless, no type of order, that she wasn't going to make it. So she needed a man. So that's what a lot of these women, especially these women of our nation, are going to realize in these last days. They're going to need a man, but more so an Israelite man, or the hopeful elect. Which leads me to Isaiah 32 verse 1. Behold, a king shall reign in righteousness, and princes shall rule in judgment, and a man should be as a hiding place from the wind. And this is not talking about just any ordinary man. This is speaking about a chosen, elect Israelite man of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. That's why I said a man should be more precious than fine gold. That's speaking about to a chosen Israelite man, especially in these times. So a man should be as a hiding place from the wind, talking about when all hell breaks loose in the society. So you're going to need that spiritual covering. Going back to that spiritual hedge that's going to be over every elect Israelite man and hopefully his household in these last days. And a covert from the tempest, as rivers of water in a dry place, as a shadow of a great rock in a weary land. So that's a point right there through the spirit, how a lot of these women are totally senseless, they're careless, they're totally heedless, not being aware of their surroundings. And that's why we are seeing these type of judgments being brought upon them. So these things are happening right now when things are so-called intact in this society. Just imagine through the spirit, when this land of America is going to be totally lawless, every man for himself, survival of the fittest. And when these people, especially these men, are going to be out here animalistic, they're going to go right for that weaker vessel, which are these modern day women. So those are times that we are in. That's something to think about. So Abba Ratazat, you all was edified. You all stay strong. Shalom.
And now our other top story, the hunt for a suspect who sucker punched and beat a woman in a terrifying and brutal attack at a gas station. Now, the scary and random attack that could really happen to anyone has left a woman hospitalized.
Yeah, she was pumping gas when this stranger brutally beat her. KCAL 9's Rick Montanez live in Gardena with this disturbing video. More of it, and the hunt, of course, for the man who did it. Rick?
Jasmine and Amy, we just learned actually from the employees here that the suspect in this attack is actually a regular customer, or at least he used to be. This is at the Sinclair station. We're off of Rosecrans Avenue and Avalon Boulevard here in Gardena. The brutal attack happened right here at pump number 1 last Sunday. The video is difficult to watch, but in it you can see the man pretty well, actually. Let's walk you through it. The LA County Sheriff's Department released the video today in hopes that someone recognizes the shirtless man. You see, once he's out of his SUV, he casually walks up to the unsuspecting victim, that woman pumping gas, when suddenly she's attacked. You can see the man knocks her to the ground and then repeatedly hits her. She falls out of sight from the security camera. Investigators say the attacker, though, grabs the woman's hair and repeatedly slams her head into the car and on the ground. The attack lasts about 30 seconds, and by that time, bystanders begin to approach the suspect and the victim. One man is even seen walking with the suspect as he goes back to his SUV.
It looks familiar. Yeah, it looks like I've seen that car before. And I'm definitely going to be on the lookout from now on for that. And just being aware of my surroundings, period. I just would have never thought anything like that would have happened around here.